Okay, so today we'll be doing experiment 7, which is about inorganic qualitative analysis. The main aim of this experiment is to familiarize ourselves with the various distinguishing tests because most of the compounds have already been given to us. So the first test we'll be doing is the halide ion test. What I have here is samples of chloride, bromide and iodide ions respectively. We'll be doing the silver nitrate test. So I'm going to take a test tube and we're going to add about 2 cm depth of chloride, bromide and iodide to each test tube. After that, we will add silver nitrate and then we will divide the solution into 3 portions and add nitric acid, dilute ammonia and concentrated ammonia to each portion. So let's start with the chloride ions. I'm going to add about 2 cm depth of chloride ions to the test tube. As you can see, the solution is clear. So now we're going to add some silver nitrate and see what happens. As you can see, the solution is turning cloudy. There's a formation of a white precipitate. Okay, so let's divide this solution into 3 portions now. I'll transfer a bit to an empty test tube and a little bit more to another empty test tube. And after that, we will be adding nitric acid, dilute ammonia and concentrated ammonia to our 3 portions. So let's start with nitric acid. Let's see if the precipitate dissolves. Okay, so the acid is going in and you can see that the precipitate is still there. Nothing's happening. It's still there. Okay. This is expected because silver chloride does not dissolve in nitric acid. Let's try ammonia now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here goes. Let's see whether the precipitate dissolves. Ammonia is going in. You can see that some precipitate is already dissolving. You see it? Some precipitate is dissolving. More is dissolving. And the precipitate is gone. Look, the solution is clear. Okay. Now for concentrated ammonia. Gotta be careful here because the smell is quite strong. Ammonia. Okay, just a bit will do. Let's see if the precipitate dissolves. Wow, it's even faster now. Look. Even faster than the dilute ammonia one. So this is for chloride. Let's do bromide now. So we're going to do the same thing. 2 cm depth of bromide. The solution is clear too. Silver nitrate is coming in. Oh, a white precipitate. It's a bit creamish though. It looks white or cream. We can't really tell. That's why we're going to add ammonia later. Because you can recall, silver bromide is soluble in concentrated ammonia, but not in dilute ammonia. So now I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to divide the solution into 3 portions. Okay, so let's add nitric acid again and see what happens. Precipitate is still there. Let's add some more. Still there, nothing's happening. Precipitate is insoluble. Okay. How about dilute ammonia now? Let's try. Nothing's happening. Contrast this with the chloride ion just now, where it dissolved quite rapidly. The precipitate is still there. Okay, so silver bromide is insoluble in dilute ammonia. But how about concentrated? Let's try. Now I'm going to add some concentrated ammonia now. Ooh, the smell. Okay, let's try. Can you see? Some of the precipitate is already dissolving. Whoa, look. Look. It's becoming clearer. Look. Contrast this with the earlier solution where I added dilute ammonia. Okay, so this is for silver bromide. Now let's do the test for iodide. Okay, so I'm going to take my potassium iodide and we are going to add 2 cm depth of potassium iodide. Okay, silver nitrate is coming up. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's a precipitate. It's a bit yellowish. The color is to the yellow side. It's a bit whitish, but there's more yellow than white. Contrast this with the precipitate that we got for silver chloride just now. See? It's a bit yellowish, right? Yes. So this is the yellow silver iodide precipitate. So I'm going to divide the solution into 3 portions. Oh, not enough test tubes. Let me just do a quick rinse. Okay. So 3 portions. A little bit here and a little bit here. Okay, so let's add a bit of nitric acid now and see if the precipitate dissolves. Okay, here goes. Nothing's happening. The precipitate is still there. Solution is still cloudy. Silver iodide is insoluble. Okay, how about dilute ammonia now? Here goes. As you can see, nothing's happening too, because silver iodide is the least soluble of all the silver halides. It's insoluble in both dilute and concentrated ammonia. So let's try by adding concentrated ammonia to see. So I'm going to add concentrated ammonia. As you can see, oh, precipitate is still there. Let's add some more. Precipitate is still there. It's not dissolving at all, unlike the silver bromide example that we saw just now. So that's the halide ion test. Thank you. We'll be testing for carbonate, sulfide and sulfate ions. We'll be using the barium nitrate test because these ions form insoluble precipitates with barium. So first up, I will take some carbonate ions, about 1 cm depth. And then let's add some barium nitrate. and see what happens. Okay, yes, there's a white precipitate. That's the white precipitate of barium carbonate. Let's do the same for sulfide ions now. So 1 cm depth of sulfide ions, and in goes some barium nitrate, another white precipitate formed. That's the white precipitate of barium sulfide. Finally, let's try for sulfate. 1 cm depth of sulfate, some barium nitrate, a white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed. Now, you have barium sulfate and barium sulfide. Both of them look remarkably similar. So how do we distinguish them? We add dilute nitric acid. If it's barium sulfate, dilute nitric acid will not dissolve the precipitate. So let's try. When we add dilute nitric acid, the precipitate does not dissolve. It's barium sulfate after all. Thank you.